going to show you a simple way to make a shape, your own custom shape, and resize it on a couple of different projects. I used this XO, can you see on my layout? The XOXO in the background. That's one entire welded piece that I made for my scrapbook layout of my kids. And I actually then resized it and made this cute, simple little card for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to show you how easily that's done on the Brothers ScanNCut machine. To design my XOXO pattern, I'm going to go into Patterns, choose Fonts. I'm choosing this font in the top right, and then I'm going to choose my letters separately. So first an X, okay. You can see down here how big the X is, and it's only an inch, so I will, using this button, just make it a little bit bigger to work with, so about 4 inches high, and click Set. Now I'm going to add my O. Here we go. And again, make it 4 inches high. So I'm increasing this button here, and you can watch the size increase right there. Set, and there's my O. I do want 2 of each, so I will highlight the X, go to the sizing, increase my number by 1, and then I have my second one to play with. And I'll do the same to the O, go back into the sizing where I can choose my numbers, add 1 more, and then I have my O. So like I said, I recommend working with larger images that you can resize smaller. They're just easier to see. And I basically I'm going to line them up at this center cross point. And I will basically just play with them, and what I want to do is have them overlap. So I will have to move them closer together. And until I want the X to touch the O, and vice versa. And I want the O to touch the X's at the bottom a little bit. So I have that kind of set up. I want to see if they are touching. My vision's not great. I'm going to go to my zoom button here. And let's look. It's not touching there, but it's touching at the bottom. This one is pretty good. Yeah, so we're going to move the O up a little bit. I'm going to use my moving buttons this time. Sometimes for little movements, it's easier to do that. Now, the other thing you can do actually with these letters, just to adjust them a bit, is to go back and resize it a little bit wider. So I will choose the resizing button to show you how to do that. I click this, so I only move the width of the O, right? And that way it's subtle, but I can get it to touch the X rather than moving it around as much. And I'll do the same to this O. I'll make it a little bit wider to match the other O. Okay, I think this O has to be touching a bit, so I will move it over. And so once again, you're basically playing so that all of your pieces touch, and whoops, and then you can weld them. That's the goal. You want them to touch so you can weld. All right, so zoom in. And again, it's just a process where you play around with it. I think we're touching okay. Yes. Anyway, so that's what you do. So you try it out. Now I'm going to choose all my bounding boxes so that they're all outlined in red, all my letters, and click OK. Then on the left is your welding. It'd say OK to weld, and you can already see how it is going to look when it's welded. So you can, if you don't like the look of this, you can see the outlines disappeared, then you can click cancel and go back. But I'm going to click OK and OK. And now that it's welded, I can resize it for my card by making it smaller. I'm going to make it about 3 3/4 inches large or wide. There we go. And I'm ready to cut. I click OK, OK, and cut. And I'll load my paper and cut it. And there I have my XO. Okay, with my XOXO on in the corner still, I'm going to figure out how to add a frame around it. And I'm going to add this pattern of, it has a kind of a postage stamp edge. So I'll click OK, and I just want one, and there it is. So now I'm going to resize it. I'll keep this on my screen, resize this so that it's appropriate to cut. It has the red bounding box. I'm going into the resize button here, and you can see it doesn't fit, so let's just make it larger, increasing the width and size to about let's see, about 4 and a bit. That's a little bit small. Let's go closer to 5. And if you're resizing something and you see, oh, it stops resizing, it's because it's hit the edge of your mat that you're designing with. So just move it away from the edges of the mat, and that way you can resize as much as you want. So let's drag this in and see if it fits. I think it's pretty good, but let's check by enlarging the screen, going here, and I'll see if it's touching the edges. Looks pretty good, maybe a tiny bit bigger. So let's move this out and click that again, go to the sizing, and we'll make it just a bit bigger than 5 inches. All right, and then click OK, and now we're ready to cut. It fits in there nicely. And so I don't want this image anymore. I'll click delete, OK. I will move this to the corner of my mat because that's where my paper is. Click OK, OK, and cut. I've already loaded the paper into my mat, and we'll cut it out. Great, I'll click OK, unload my mat, and here I have my postage stamp edge frame for my XOXO, like so. Okay. For the heart on my card, I'm going to go into pattern, into my basic shapes, and in your basic shapes you will find 3 different hearts here. So one has like kind of scalloped edges and finer scalloped edges. This is more of a wavy edge heart. I'm going to just choose the plain heart because I want the crisp lines on my card. And of course it'll be much, much smaller, maybe only a couple of inches big. And very simply I just cut out the heart. I have my red cardstock ready to go, and we'll do that now. Okay, unload my mat, and there's my perfect little heart. We'll see, that will go on my card here. And that's how simple it is. Thanks for watching.